Before you start packing those bags and dreaming of endless sunshine, there are a few huge traps that most people completely miss when they're moving here. And trust me, you will want to avoid them. Today, I'm breaking down what everyone gets wrong about living in Phoenix and how you can dodge those mistakes like a pro. Let's jump in. First up, everyone underestimates the weather. Yeah, you know it's hot, but you don't really know just how hot until you're walking across the parking lot in 118-degree weather and it feels like your skin is melting off. Phoenix isn't just a little warm. The summers are brutal. And it's not always just a dry heat. I mean, it's dry until it's not. See, the humidity actually spikes during our monsoon season, and that is when you'll step outside and feel like you've walked into a sauna. Now, everyone loves it when it rains in the summertime because it does lower the temperature, but it's only for a short time because then it heats right back up. Now, when it comes to the heat, there are a few specific things that you really need to know. Your car interiors can literally burn you. Steering wheels, the metal parts of the seatbelt, the leather seats, all of these can get really, really hot. Now, if you have small kids that are still in car seats, you will probably see people that have ice packs specifically made for the car seat. And what they do is that when the child is out of that car seat, they put the seatbelts in the middle of that seat and then lay that ice pack over top of all of that. And all of this is so that when you come back to the car, you take the ice pack out, and when you put your child back in that car seat, the metal portions of that seatbelt won't burn them. Because if you don't have that, they can. Now, even after living here for 15 years, I did not know anything about these car seat ice packs until I had kids. And let me tell you something, they were a lifesaver. Now, another thing to invest in is good window tinting. And this doesn't have to just be for your car. It can be for your house on certain windows that get a lot of sun. But for your car, you also need a sunshade. And I would get that as soon as possible. Overall, you need to know that your air conditioning will be running 24 hours a day, and your electric bill is probably going to hurt. And if you really like outdoor activities from June through September, you have to do them really early in the morning if you want to be outside, unless you enjoy the feeling of slowly roasting yourself. Now, if you aren't ready to adapt your lifestyle to some of those really early mornings and lots of time inside during the summer, you might be miserable here. Now, because we have so many golfers, I get this question a lot, and that is, can I still golf in the summertime? And the answer to that is yes. Many of the courses have personal cooling systems on the golf carts so that even when you get off the cart, when you come back, you can cool yourself down and it's not so terrible. It's still going to be hot, but you can survive. Another huge trap is thinking that Phoenix is cheap. Now, compared to some other states like California and New York, sure, Phoenix is more affordable, but the Phoenix home prices have skyrocketed over the last few years. Certain areas like Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, and Arcadia are now much more expensive. Even basic living expenses like gas, groceries, and utilities have all gone up. You also have to be prepared for costs like HOAs because they are very common in many Phoenix neighborhoods, especially the newer ones. And those fees can range from anywhere from $50 to over $400 every month. Then you have property taxes. Now, we're lucky here in the state because our property taxes are significantly lower than a lot of other states. But one thing that people forget about is that sometimes properties here in the Valley require you to have flood insurance, which is an additional cost. Now, not every home is going to be required to have flood insurance, but some are, and you've got to be able to include that in your budget. Then you have homeowners insurance, which, let's face it, has gotten more expensive for everyone. But it is still something you need to be prepared for. Now, it's always a good idea to maybe talk to an insurance company before you buy a house so that you have a really good understanding about what that cost is going to look like. Now, something good about Phoenix is that it's really big, and there's usually a neighborhood out there that will fit your lifestyle and budget. Now, speaking of how big the Phoenix area is, this is something that people don't understand. They usually think, well, Phoenix isn't that big of a city, so travel times around the city won't be that bad. That's wrong. Because Phoenix is so spread out, you can easily have a 45-minute to over an hour drive if you're going to drive across Phoenix. So don't underestimate your commute. When you're house hunting, you can't just think about where you want to live. You also have to think about where you need to go every day and what you like to do and how far away that is from the house you're looking at. Now, here's something else to think about. The freeways in Phoenix all look really simple on a map, but Phoenix has a spider web of loops. The 101, the 202, the 303, and the I-10 all crisscross. And one accident can shut down the freeway for hours. And if in the summertime you would like to easily get out of the heat and go to Flagstaff, there is only one freeway in and out of Flagstaff, and that's the I-17. And if there is an accident there, that freeway can absolutely shut down and you will be dead stopped on that freeway for sometimes hours because there is no alternative route. Now, public transportation here is almost non-existent outside of downtown and Tempe where they have the light rail. Now, if you do any searches or look anywhere online about what the traffic is like here in the Phoenix area, it is all going to sound awful. It is going to sound like it is bumper to bumper traffic at all times of the day. But as someone who grew up in Southern California, the traffic here is nothing in comparison to there. Has it gotten worse over the past 25 years that I've lived here? Yes, but I think that's the case everywhere. And honestly, when I can get on the freeway and the traffic is moving at a pretty steady pace, with maybe a few stops or slowdowns every once in a while, I don't consider that terrible traffic. One of the biggest mistakes I see, choosing the wrong neighborhood for your lifestyle. Phoenix, as we have said already, is massive, and every area feels a little bit different. Are you looking for urban walkable living? Then you might like downtown Phoenix or Tempe. If you're looking for family-friendly suburbs, Gilbert, Chandler, North Peoria, or even Scottsdale might be the right fit for you. And if you're looking for luxury golf communities, then Scottsdale or Paradise Valley might be the right fit. The biggest mistake is choosing based on price alone and maybe what looks pretty online. Your day-to-day happiness depends on whether the community you live in supports your lifestyle. Schools, parks, shopping, dining, nightlife, hiking, biking, whatever matters most to you is important when you're selecting the right place to live. Otherwise, you may love your home, but hate where it is. Now, everyone thinks Phoenix is sunshine and golf 24/7, right? Wrong again. Phoenix gets crazy monsoon storms in the summertime. We are talking blinding dust storms that some call haboobs. They will come with heavy rain, crazy lightning, and sometimes even flash flooding. If you've never seen blowing dust blowing across the desert floor or driven through it, it's hard to describe. Now, with these storms, you do have warning that they're coming, so you can prepare, which usually consists of either tying things down so they don't blow away or bringing them inside so they don't get damaged. Now, if you're driving in one of these, you have to be very careful, and you might even need to stop because the visibility can go down to zero. Now, when it comes to our weather, many think that they can get rid of all their jackets and coats when they move here because it's always sunny and warm. Then they go through one winter, which is really only December and January, and sometimes even shorter than that. But during this time, we can have a week or two that are surprisingly cold. Now, for those visiting from the Midwest or the East Coast, they're still gonna think that this is the most beautiful weather during the day because we get maybe into like the 50s. But after you've lived here for about a year, that will feel cold to you. And during this time of year, we can also see a few nights where we get just below freezing. And this really surprises people. Now, if you want to learn about some of the neighborhoods that you absolutely need to avoid if you're looking to move to Phoenix, you're gonna want to watch this video. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.